I don't know what from Greece or whatever it was. I'm not sure. But they made it a point. Here you are, an immigrant come here to, and you made a success in this country, and you sitting here you're working against the people who gave you the same break that you got. I think I remember that.
Do you remember the students' campaign with against riches, asking everybody black to send in your charge cards, don't buy your Christmas presents and clothes, Easter clothes at Riches?
Yeah, I do remember that. Yes,
Okay.
and I think at the time I had just established credit then, and I think I did have a Rich's charge card. And if I remember, I think I probably threw it up, and I think I tore it up and threw it away. Later on, I worked at Rich's one time. I've been, being a native Atlantan, I've seen this city transform a whole lot. But like history, it didn't happen overnight, and all of it didn't go smoothly. They didn't do it without a fight. And that's what I try to tell my sons. I have two sons, that they take things for granted. There was a lot of people who went to jail. So many people even lost their jobs. And it was a lot of sacrifice that went on that the generation coming up, they just takes for granted.
Did you go to jail?
I went to jail with a group one time. We stayed in a big open room for about, I don't know, an hour or two or something. They finally let us go. But for booked and fingerprinted and all that stuff, no, I didn't.
Where were y'all when you got arrested?
We were at the Atlanta Cabana Hotel.
Do you remember the Atlanta Inquirer? Well, it's still here today, but
Yes, the Atlanta Inquirer was what we call the newspaper for the students' rights movement. The Inquirer and the other one came out, but I think that was supposed to be the official newspaper for the movement. And the people in the movement, they contributed a lot of articles and all that stuff to that newspaper. I remember that. The Atlanta World was the first black one, though.
and one will go where Hollowell's office was, Hollowell, Ward, Moore, and
Moore.
Alexander.
I
You want
remember.
to talk about movement lawyers?
Only thing I know, I didn't know them personally, but I knew that these were the legal people behind the movement. These were ones who helped arrange bail, argue their cases, and so forth like that. I do remember them quite well.
The Freedom Riders obviously had a big impact on the civil rights movement and even the student movement. You want to talk about the Freedom Riders?
They were some brave people. I know Frank Holloway. I know him personally. He was one of my athletic heroes a little bit in high school. He was about 2 or 3 years ahead of me. Real quiet spoken guy, but I was surprised at the action he took, and the beatings and stuff he took while he was there. He left and went to Delaware State and came back and got involved in the movement. I know a few Freedom Riders. One of my classmates was, I believe you all probably know Ruby Doris Smith. We finished high school together at Price High. Of course, she's deceased now. Well, these people I'm talking about, they went that little step further than most of us did. My hat is off to them, and I'm glad they finally getting the recognition that they deserve.
Beautiful. The desegregation of Grady.
I remember the segregated grades. I remember going in there, signing those, sliding up and down those benches, taking all days to get weight on. I remember people sitting in the aisleways when they couldn't get beds. I remember it. The desegregation went on And I really didn't. By that time, I had become employed, and I was able to, just about go where I wanted to. But I tell you what, I have always catered to black doctors, and if they can't do it, they would always send me where I could get the best care. Matter of fact, both of my doctors, Joe Williams and Dr. Can't think of the name. Well, Williams just died. They have been my doctors, and they were both Morehouse graduates. And I'm pretty sure you know the reputation for Morehouse, man. How many people are going on to medical and dental school, though? It's been a good breeding ground for medicine. And I remember Hamilton Holmes. He's a guy I grew up with, and he was one of the directors at Grady for a while. I never thought the guy I used to play with would be the head of it, but it did happen. And it didn't take forever either.
Yeah, we interviewed Dr. Satcher at
Okay.
Morehouse.
Yeah, Dr. Satcher, when I came back out of the military, he was the president of the student body. My class was 58, his was 59. And it was obvious that he was headed for greatness then. He carried his way in such a way that you knew he was going to be somebody important one day. So his history doesn't surprise me. I wasn't shocked one bit about the things that he achieved.
So I understand in around March of '61, the students had a big meeting at Warren Memorial Church, a big rally even, and they wanted to talk about the business district's response to their sit-ins and protests. And the business district, the leaders, the white leaders, wanted the students to wait, to integrate lunch counters and the businesses until they saw how integrating the schools went. Were you at that meeting? And
No.
I understand Dr. King came and spoke.
No, I was not. I got out of the military in January of '62. No, so I was not there.
You mentioned the quadrangle. Did you want to talk a little bit more? I know it was really just the meeting place before you went out.
Yeah, we would meet over there. Spelman and Morehouse would meet there. We would go by, we would pick up the people at Clark and walk over to Morris Brown and pick up the crew at Morris Brown and go up and go across the bridge until we go downtown. And all the way we'd be in files, two at a time, orderly, singing and chanting all the way downtown. We were instructed, not to retaliate. And everybody who marched, were not targeted for be arrested. There were certain people who were trained to be arrested and knew what to do. I was not one of those. But everybody had a role. Some people even didn't do anything but make signs or something, or make decorations for what we had to do. Everybody didn't march because some of the people were actually scared and they thought they would get in trouble. But there was something for everybody to do.
And then I understand Rush Memorial was very supportive of the students.
Yes, it was right on the corner of so-called Chestnut and Fairley, and Rush Memorial was right behind. I think it was Reverend Boone, I think, was there. And there was always some kind of meeting or strategy sessions going on there. And sometime between class and after class, we would just drift over there sometime to see what was going on next and what could we do, what could we do to participate? Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm okay.
Anything else you want to say about the impact of the Atlanta student movement?
I'm glad although I was not there initially, I was glad I was able to come in there and say that I was a part of the history-making thing that the students did. It needs to tell this generation, nobody gives you anything without a fight. We had to work for it to get, and I think we appreciate it more. The generation comes up, I think they don't know their history, and they don't know what they went through. And sometimes when they do hear us, they are shocked. Sometimes in disbelief, they don't believe it sometimes. But there are records of it, there's movies of it, things like you're doing right now can show them. And there are things that they can do now, maybe not the same things we did, but they can do things on a different level. And I wish they would be motivated, because sometimes I think we're backtracking. You know, we've gotten to a certain point now where we think that, you know, we can coast. We can't. We still need to push ahead.
Was Atlanta really the city too busy to hate?
I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't necessarily agree with that. There's still a whole lot of treachery and stuff going on, you know. But we must educate ourselves so to know how to, you know, so we can play the game on an even field. And the key